If everyone owned nukes, so much peace would suddenly happen. I don't think so. I think if everybody had nukes, people would start using them. Honestly, I don't know, man. Have you ever gone to Sam's Club? So you know how in the Reggie video he was like carpet bombing people over any like small inconvenience? People would start doing that IRL if they could. Dude, people would start carpet bombing people IRL if they could shave off like 2 or 3 people off the line and hit Sam's Club, okay? If you give everybody nukes, okay? I am telling you, people will use those nukes just to get ahead and just cut in. He has to cut in line at your local Sam's Club. It will happen. Would you carpet bomb people? It depends. I would probably carpet bomb you if you are a pickup driver. Carpet bombing over a minor inconvenience, yeah. Listen, whenever somebody's being a piece of shit on Sam's Club, I don't go to Sam's Club anymore. I'm personally a Costco girly, so you know, that's just me. But Costco, you don't know what a Costco is? You don't know what a Costco? Okay, a Costco is like a big ass supermarket. It's not a supermarket. It's not a supermarket, but it's like a supermarket. You are supposed to. So here's the thing. At Costco, what they do is that you pay for a membership to go in. And the reason why you have to pay for that membership is because what they do is that because you are paying for that membership, they are legally considered a warehouse wholesale, right? And because of that, they're now able to sell to you in bulk a lot of things for way lower prices, right? So the appeal of Costco is for you to be able to go there, buy, for example, let's say you want to buy shampoo, right? Well, instead of buying like a 32-ounce bottle of shampoo for $8 at your local, you know, auto supermarket or Walgreens or whatever, you can go buy a 64-ounce bottle of shampoo for like $6, essentially. So, and that's the real appeal of Costco is the fact that you can get like a bunch of stuff for way cheaper than you would get at a supermarket. Is it just a better Sam's Club? Honestly, in my opinion, yes. But I do think there's an asterisk tied to that. It kind of depends on where you live. From what I understand, there's certain areas where Sam's may be better, but I personally prefer Costco. I'm unable to see the appeal of buying bulk at my age. Well, when you're paying $300, $400 in groceries, you'll understand the appeal. In my case, I'm paying like $300 worth of groceries. And it lasts me like 2 to 3 months. Remember, chat, no matter which side of the Civil War you're on, make sure to scream out with your full chest. Subscribe to Scarlette on Discourse EN as we mow down your enemies. True, so true. Make sure that when you kill them, you use their blood to write my name on your chest and use it as an advertisement billboard for my channel. I pay $350, $450 a month on groceries. Alaska is expensive. Jesus Christ. Yeah, on Costco when I go, I pay like $300, $350, maybe more. But what I buy there lasts me like easily 2.5 months, almost 3 months. So that's why I go. But that's beside the point. The point is that like I feel like if when you go to Sam's, I'm telling you, and maybe even in Costco as well. When you go to Costco, you will have particularly in the Costco parking lot, dude. Holy shit, dude. I hate my fellow human a bit more whenever I have to go to the Costco parking lot. I hate. Listen, I love my human brethren, and I will defend them to death. I am a big believer in unity and love and making sure that we get along with each other and whatever. Except when I'm at the Costco parking lot. I wish nothing but the worst to everybody in that parking lot. It's a special kind of hell. Though actually, the real problem with the Costco parking lot is that there's not enough parking for the amount of people that are able to fit inside the store. That's a real problem with the Costco parking lot. To bring it back, right, to the conversation about giving everybody a nuke would be a good idea. The reason why I don't think giving everybody a nuke would be a good idea is because you just know that somebody waiting in the Costco parking lot line for like 5 minutes, if they had the chance, they would 100% use that mini nuke to annihilate off the face of the earth with extreme prejudice whoever was in front of them, just so they can take their parking spot. You just know they would do it, and they wouldn't feel any remorse about it. The Costco parking lot is like where my hope for society like goes to die. This reminded me that my Sam's got destroyed by a tornado around 2 years ago. Probably deserved. That was probably God sending you a divine message to go to our Costco instead of a Sam's. That is divine intervention if I've ever seen it. Ever hear of the shopping cart litmus test? Do you mean the one where people ask you whether you bring the shopping cart back to its location or not? Because I have a question about that. So here's my question to you. So I don't think I have to litigate the shopping cart litmus test because I think we all know what the quote-unquote morally correct answer would be. I don't think anybody's gonna start batting for leaving the shopping cart at where you leave the car. But my question to you is this. How far do you take the shopping cart? Do you leave it at the nearest stall or do you take it to the stall where the employees have to take it to anyways? Because if you feel like that strongly about it, that's where my question is. Because I feel like, listen, I'll take it to the stall, to the nearest stall. But honestly, if I'm gonna be judged morally for it, right? And we're talking about, and we're gonna take into consideration, and we're taking into consideration like the plight of the employee, right? Then we also have to take into consideration the fact that those employees also take it to the stall all the way back to the shop anyway. I take it to the nearest stall. Okay, then that brings up the question. That brings up the question. Near stall, they still gotta do their job unless it's a small amount. Well, then that brings up my question about it, right? Then if the nearest stall is like, say, 5 feet away from your car position right now, right? Then what difference does it make? Because, for example, sometimes on Costco, I'll park right beside the stall, right? So if I park right beside the stall, and that stall is like pretty far away from the actual shop, right? And I leave my cart in that stall nearby to where my car was parked, then what difference does it make whether it was like 5 feet to the left or 5 feet to the right? Because this cart isn't taking a parking space then? Well, some people won't, well, I mean, I don't do this. What I've seen some people do is that they'll put the cart like on the green area. So that like they'll put it up on the curb. But like that's where I think the question of the I think that's where the question of the part of the shopping cart litmus test gets interesting. Because now we're talking about, well, does 5 feet make that much of a difference? Because in reality, what we should be measuring is how much effort the employee is going to be doing, right? The question for the people who leave the car in empty spots next to the car. The question is for people who leave the car in the empty spots next to their car, taking up empty parking spots. Okay, but if you do that, you just go to hell. Like we can just agree to like send to hell unequivocally the people who leave the car taking up an entire ass parking spot. If you do that, you like your ass is just going to doggy hell, right? The point is you're willing to do the bare minimum society expected to keep the community pliant and functional. Well, you see, that's the first problem, right? Like, you're expecting for people to be polite and functional in a Costco parking lot. That's... You are... You may be asking for a little bit, just a tinsy bit too much, in my opinion. I think that would be the first mistake to do whenever you are in a parking lot like that. Listen, I assume everybody is my enemy when I'm in a parking lot like that. Like I've the place where, listen, the two places where I've gotten almost ran over has been Costco and the biggest mall where I live near Christmas time. I assume everyone is my enemy, even me, even you. Listen, when I'm in Costco looking for a parking, we're not friends, okay? I think it's just considered to put in the collection slot. It also keeps the car from hitting other cars on winning days, so you're also respecting other people's property at the bare minimum. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. At least with that. If people are at the end of the lot, no closed stalls, and prop it up on a curb so it doesn't roll away, I think it's not a big deal. I think the same. I think curb is like the bare minimum. You shouldn't do it, but curb is the bare minimum. Like you're going to doggy hell if you don't at least, you know, prop it onto the curb. By the way, I say this as somebody who has worked as the person carrying the carts around back to the store. Like when I used to work at a supermarket, I used to do that job. And I kind of hated it. Oh, like on one hand, I didn't hate it as much because it was like a way to get away from my supervisor, which I fucking hated. I hated his guts and I hated his face and I wanted to kill him. God, he was an asshole. But you worked at a supermarket, yeah. I used to be a cashier. But sometimes when it used to be, oh, I fucked up my rotation. When it used to be when it used to be a slow day, they would sometimes send me outside into the sultries to push the carts around in order to be able to get them back to the store. And like that type of stuff, like obviously, like it's not ideal. Like I'd rather not do that job, right? But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did appreciate the job in the sense that it was like a good chance to get away from like my piece of shit boss. I hated him so much. We can all agree that people who leave it in parking spots are evil. People who leave it in the parking spots, or people who leave it in anywhere near close to the either listen, parking spots or just like in the middle. I've seen people leave it in the middle of the road as well. It's like, okay, like you're just going to hell, man. Like listen, you won't have to answer to me, but you will have to answer to God eventually, because he is watching, okay? I'm not gonna be the one sending you to doggy hell, but he will. I know that for a fact. Sorry, I hope you get hit by a scooter and you shouldn't. Wait, why? What did I do? I'm thinking about those people. Damn, listen, hitting them on the shin with a scooter is probably an acceptable form of punishment for those people. Probably. My supervisor told me that we need to find a goth girl to peg you. Listen, you think you need a goth girl to peg you, but like, I'm telling you, once you get into that situation, you're gonna chicken out. I've seen many a dude ask for something like that and then turned tail the moment it became a real option. Wait, hold up. You've known people that were almost pegged and chickened out. How does that come up in conversation? Listen, I'm not saying... I'll put it this way. I've known of people who are very freaky, who were kind of hitting it off with certain people, and then suddenly out of the blue, they weren't in talking terms anymore. And listen, I don't know for sure if that's how it happened, but in my head canon, what happened was that she showed her true colors to him. And he wasn't about that life. That's my personal headcanon. Gives you good karma. I put a cart bag that was next to my car and somebody parked there and found my wallet and was full of like $200 in cash. They didn't take my money. You know, they didn't take your money not because they were a good person, but because they were flexing how much they don't need your $200 I'm joking. Hey, if that's how you form good karma, good on you. I don't know how I can form good karma nowadays. I'm pretty much a hermit, so... I don't think there's a whole lot of good karma I can form from the confines of my home. I hope you enjoyed today's video. By the way, as a friendly reminder, we do all of this live here on YouTube and on Twitch, and you're likely missing out, so don't forget to check the links below for my socials, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next video. Love you!